So hi, welcome to my video. I wanted to talk about pretty much what got me into wanting to learn about Japan and Japanese culture. And it's really odd, it is horror and gore movies. And I do want to just go ahead and give you a little bit of a warning. Some of the subject matter may not be appropriate for everyone. I'm not going to go into detail about a lot of the movies that I watched or anything, but I do just want to let you know if this isn't your thing, just keep on scrolling.
Level 2 cornerstone. Hostiles detected.
So I got into Japanese gore and horror movies like when I was in, I don't say horror the right way. So I do want to just go ahead and apologize because it will sound like I'm not saying what I'm really saying. Just watch out for that. I'm sorry, I'm working on it. I got into the genre when I was like in middle school. No, I was in high school. And how it started was I really got into reading manga and I wanted to learn more about Japan, and I was introduced to the artist known as Gact. So at the time I was really in love with this artist. I was a child. I didn't really know a lot. And I used to obsess over him. I was obsessed. Like it's actually not good, my obsession. Like I used to try to buy all of his concerts. I would go to whatever Japanese like good store, like you know, like those novelty Japanese stores that you used to be able to find in malls. Maybe they still have them. Like I used to like search for those just so that I could see if I could get something of his. And for some reason they always seem to have Gact's stuff. And after doing much research, I realized that Gact was in a movie that just so happened to be with Hyde. And Hyde is very much a household name. Like he has his own credit cards. He is a great performer, a singer. And because I saw a movie that had them both in it, I really wanted to watch it. So I looked to see where I could find it, and at that time there was Mega Upload, but I think I just wanted a copy for myself, so I bought it off of Amazon. Upon watching the movie, I loved it. I think it took place in Singapore. I haven't watched it in years for a reason. I think it took place in Singapore, and it featured vampires. I think Gact and Hyde were vampires in it. And I remember it being kind of like Twilight with guns. Like it seemed like there was a little tiny romance story, but it was mostly a bromance. It was just dudes hanging out and being friends pretty much. And I thought that was like, I love that. I was so in love. I am so tired of myself. I'm tired of Weeb Kyra. Thinking about her, it's annoying. After watching it, I was like, ooh, I want to watch more movies like this. And so I found out that Moonchild was a part of this little box set that was called Danger After Dark. So I bought the box set, like I bought the whole box just so that I could watch all the movies that were in it, because I thought that the movies were exactly like Moonchild. Moonchild was classified as a horror movie. It really isn't, but the other two movies were in fact horror movies. I really don't know why they made this box set, because they're like, it's like there's Moonchild and then there's the other two, but the other two movies is what got me into the genre. The first movie that I watched afterwards was 2DLK. So pretty much that's just how they describe the layout of the building or the apartment or the house. So it just means like 2 bedroom, 1 dining room, 1 kitchen, and a living room. And the atmosphere of that movie, from what I remember, was perfect. It took place in this little cramped 2-bedroom apartment. The subject matter itself, I think I remember thinking that it was like stupid. So pretty much it's about these 2 women that live in this apartment together. They're actresses and they start becoming really competitive and very catty, and eventually it just has like this big eruption at the end. And I remember thinking, man, that's really dumb. This movie is really dumb. And then I moved to Japan and I was like, And then the third movie happened to be, in Japanese is Jisatsu Sakaru. Jisatsu Sakaru. And with this movie, I will say it in English, just a little bit of warning. The movie is about suicide pretty much. And it's in a way, from what I remember, because it's been a while since I've watched all these movies, that doesn't like, it makes suicide the main focus of the story, but not, I don't think it's to glorify it, but it is used as a form of entertainment. So pretty much with this movie, it starts off with a very iconic, it's like very iconic for gore movies, starts off with a bunch of schoolgirls jumping in front of trains. And at the time I was like, that traumatized me actually. I remember being like, I was so afraid, like I was so scared watching that. I remember, I mean, I was only in the 9th grade. I probably shouldn't have. Weird. Man, started off early. Scarred myself at an early age. And after that, you find out that there's like this entity or this group or something that is causing people to kill themselves. And so this detective takes it upon himself to just go and try to investigate it. And I don't think there was an actual resolution at the end of the movie. And so with those two movies, them being so vastly different from Moonchild, I was hooked. I don't know what about it. I think it was the fact that I felt that these directors showing like how dark their minds could go, or like the things that they could think of. I really felt I was like seeing, you know, people or Japan through a completely different lens than a lot of other people were seeing. At the time, I thought I was like some deep person, just an edgelord, but whatever. And I do have to admit, I have slowed down on the watching of I have slowed down watching a lot of gore movies, just simply because I want to protect my mental health, and I want to just make sure that my mind is always in the right place. Just pretty much, I just wanted to just stop and take a moment and breathe and think critically about a lot of the media that I was consuming. Like, I'm really glad, I'm really grateful that watching that type of media didn't take like a negative toll on me, because I noticed that a lot of people my age that were also into the same things, they started getting into like really weird stuff. I've always been able to know the difference between, you know, real life and TV. Gore in real life bothers me, it really affects me, it scares me. But gore on TV, or, you know, something that's not real, something that is special effects or anything like that, I've always been able to just go, that's not real, that's special effects, no one's getting hurt. And I'm really grateful for that. When I started to meet more people that were into gore movies and really into horror movies, sometimes their hobbies or their likes, you know, got a little bit graphic. Like, I remember someone like showing me this video that was going around Reddit. Was it Reddit or 4chan? And I remember being traumatized. Like, I'm not gonna talk about the video. And they were like, oh, I thought you like gore stuff. And I was like, that is a real person. like that is a real person that's being hurt, that's being affected. I don't know why you would think I would want to see that. And after that, I kind of distanced myself from, I don't know, that group, or I distanced myself from a lot of people, and I felt very ashamed that I like gore and horror movies, because I thought, oh man, I must be a bad person, or I mean, I know I'm weird. I've always been weird, but I really thought that there was something wrong with me. But now I kind of realize that, you know, movies, making movies is an art form, and because it's art, it's open to people's interpretation, and it is okay to form your own opinion and have your own reason for liking things. That being said, because I do look at the media that I consume more critically, there's a lot of tropes and there's a lot of things that happen in specifically Japanese gore and horror movies that, or not just Japanese, like horror and gore movies around the world. Like, there's a common trope. One of the tropes being violence against women and stuff like that. I always wanted to figure out why these tropes exist, or what was the director thinking when they made this, and why did they make this? A lot of horror movies, they're trying to showcase, the horror that happens in real life. They're trying to showcase what human beings have the ability to do. But then also there are a few directors that make a lot of gore and horror movies to glorify violence. And because of all of this, I do want to go back and review and look at a lot of the movies I liked when I was growing up, and give my opinion on them now from someone who has experienced more, someone that's matured more, and just learned a lot more. Also, I just want to go down memory lane. And if that's not something you're into, I completely understand. I am going to be doing another series of me reminiscing on my time in Japan, because some time has passed, I've had time to think, and I realized that I did have a lot of great memories, and there was a lot that I've done. I have a lot of pictures of my time in Japan, and I want to share them and give you all like good stories of me living there, because I think when I left it was on a negative note, but it wasn't always negative. Yes, when I do the series of me reviewing Japanese gore and horror movies, I will make sure that I do proper trigger warnings. Also, with the whole series, I will have to tread very, very lightly, because in Japan, fair use is only a theory. Like, fair use is a law that exists, but not really. Also, on YouTube, a lot of anime review channels are getting taken down and all of this stuff. So I know that I will have to tread very lightly with the content all around, making sure that it's appropriate for YouTube, but also making sure that I'm not doing anything that can cause me to get copyright strike. But then also, I just want to make sure that if someone accidentally comes across one of my videos, that they're properly informed of what's going on or what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So I have my work cut out for me, pretty much. Please look out for my 2 upcoming series, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can go ahead and type them in the comment section, or you can DM me on Instagram, even Twitter, just anywhere. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or a good night. Okay, bye!